Welcome to Local SEO in 10. This is your go-to podcast for answers about how you can grow your local business online easily and quickly. Brought to you by local SEO experts Magnified Media in Walnut Creek, California. In each 10-minute episode, our digital marketing expert Adam Duran answers your questions on how you can get more leads for your business fast. Remember, if you're not taking care of this part of your business right now, you can bet your competitors are. And now, here's our host with the questions, Jamie Duran, and our expert with the answers, Adam Duran.
Hello, Adam.
Hey, Jamie.
All right. How's your week going?
It's going great. I'm all hyped up for today. I took a week off. Now I'm ready. Woo!
You sound ready for the wrestling match.
No wrestling here.
No? All right. Well, maybe you're wrestling with Google and you're going to pin them in 3 seconds or less.
That's right.
They just got up. 1, 2. They reversed it. Now they have
it's
you
like
in
fighting a giant building. You got to know when to tap, Jamie.
All right. Well, you're fighting, punching a curtain. Go ahead.
That's right.
What's on tap for today?
All right. So this was inspired actually by a recent client that's come to us. So title of today's episode is The Top 5 Ways That Plastic Surgery Clinics Can Use SEO to Increase Their Revenue. And so when a plastic surgery clinic opens, everyone beats down their door trying to take advantage of them. So if you didn't know, that word MD means double your prices or something. And in any case, a bunch of clinics, I think they have 5 different locations in the East Coast, came to us a few weeks back. And as we're doing the audit, we're going through and saying, okay, you guys are paying for this SEO and website and all this other stuff. And we're finding the same problems that we find in a lot of other businesses. And so I thought it'd be a good idea to let, these owners of plastic surgery clinics know exactly what, the kind of the benchmarks. These are the 5 most important things that they need to focus on. Or if they're going to have an agency come in and do it, these are the 5 things that the agency should be really, really on top of. And if they're not, then it's time to look for someone who can.
Okay, great. Well, you just saved most of our listeners a lot of time. We'll talk to you next week, except for the plastic surgeons who are listening to us right now.
Sure.
But, I bet all of these principles, these 5 things you're about to tell us may apply to my business.
They are applicable to a lot of different businesses.
All right. So not just plastic surgeons. Great.
Not just, but one of them is for plastic surgeons. So, okay, I'll start with that one, Jamie.
All right.
Okay?
Go ahead.
All right. Plastic surgery is definitely a place where social media comes into play. So social media really doesn't help your SEO. It does at all. But a lot of, in this niche, a lot of your clients or future clients or patients will be using social media. So you want to make sure, you have an Instagram account, a Facebook account where you have tons of before and after photos. And those before and after photos, we never want to have them on their own. We always want to make them one photo. So you edit a before on the left and an after on the right. That's easy to get, right?
Sure.
Okay. The reason we want to do that is because once those photos go out on the internet, the before ones, if you don't separate them, if you don't combine them, if you have them separate, those can show up on Google image search. And guess what?
A lot of vomit.
Yeah, a lot of the befores will be up there.
Oh, okay.
That's bad. So we want to make sure that we're combining those photos. So before and after photos, super important. You can put them on your site, of course, and then you also want to just be having them. That's the bulk of your social media presence should be posting those before and after photos. Make sense?
Yeah.
All right. So that's one thing that a plastic surgery clinic definitely should take care of. Next thing, we're going to look at the speed of their site. And you can go to, you can search for Google Speed Insights, and you can go to that site, type in your website address, and Google will tell you the speed of your site. And it's in a scale of 1 to 100. So you want to make sure that your site mobile especially, and desktop, but you want to make sure that both of those are in the 80s and 90s. So that speed is a ranking factor. So a slower site is not going to rank on its own faster than a faster site. Make sense?
Oh, yeah.
So Google understands that people are busy. So
and mobile sites too.
Yeah, and mobile, it's always mobile first, so make sure that site is mobile friendly, of course. Any site that's basically made in the last, 5-6 years, it's going to be mobile friendly. So if it's older than that, it's time for a new site or an upgrade. Next thing, once you have that, you want to make sure that your site has schema. Now, schema is really, really detailed. It's really deep. It's a really deep subject. But basically what you should know about schema is this is the language that speaks directly to Google, directly to search engines. It's a standardized language that tells Google your name of your business, where you're located, who you serve, what forms of payment, what kind of stuff you do, tons and tons of information. And that schema, you can just put up schema tester. And search for schema tester, put in your website, and it will tell you what kind of schema is there. If it's not found, that's a big problem because now you are depending on that algorithm to decide what you do.
Okay.
So and once you do that, once you're deciding on a computer, it's going to decide what you do in, less than 0.5 of a second. Guess what? It doesn't work. It does. Anytime you confuse Google, it's going to always hurt your business. So that schema is super important for keeping everything crystal clear to that algorithm.
Okay.
All right. So now, next, you're going to obviously have a Google listing. I say obviously because the clinics that came to us, only 2 out of the 5 had Google listings. So the Google listing is in your city. It is the organic lead generator for your business. And if you don't have one, it's going to hurt your business and help all of your competitors. So make sure that's done. All right.
Got it. Yeah.
You can go back and listen to other episodes on how to make your Google listing sing. But definitely you want to have one and, pick the right category. Don't put shoe store. So there is a category for you, plastic surgery clinic. All right. Next one is once you start having kind of the basis of your web presence done, you're going to have to start creating content. Now, that creating content could be a blog. It could be top 10 lists. It could be a story about a before and after patient, anything that basically answers someone's question. That's what your blog posts want to be. All right. And why you want to do that is because Google will reward sites that are continually adding content to them. So if your site is only for 5, 10, 20 pages, then Google scans that, they index it. And then if nothing changes, then nothing really, Google will limit the traffic to that site. So always be adding content to your site and good content, right? So,
and those before and after pictures don't do anything.
They keep people on the site. So definitely if you're going to have a blog and it's going to be about, rhinoplasty or something and how it went, definitely include some before and afters. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
Maybe some pictures of it in process too.
Yeah. Anything that keeps them on the page adds value. So
unless you've seen a rhinoplasty in progress, and then you don't want to see it.
You got a point. Yeah. That's very good.
Shudder. Anyway.
All right, that was 5. Now, a bonus, of course, I'm all about the bonuses. So go to a site like Legit or Fiverr or those two probably, and type in the word press release. And now buy a press release. So those press releases can range from $60 to $250. Splurge on the $250. It'll get your business name onto the internet and it'll get the link to your business on the internet on 250 or 450 different sites. So that press release is kind of it's a way to build backlinks to your site. It's also a way to build up your authority in your local area. And it's probably one thing that your competitors aren't doing. So that's why it's weird to think about a press release because it's not like, extra, extra. It's not the little kid running down the street. It's basically only for the internet. So you can just have, you can pay that person on Legit or Fiverr to make that press release for you. They'll write it out for you. They'll send it to you. You'll approve it, and then they'll have it syndicated on tons of sites all over the internet. That being said, most of them will disappear after 45 days to 90 days. So you might want to think about having a new one done every 90 days or so. So to increase your geographic relevance, maybe on an article that you wrote about rhinoplasty, you'd put that you'd feature that article in your press release, like whatever surgery or plastic surgery clinic had this awesome rhinoplasty finished with great results, something like that. But it in reality, it doesn't really matter because nobody reads them but Google. So, but it does. The link juice from those is pretty awesome.
You had mentioned a service that is using AI to write all of this stuff. Do you remember that name of that service? If not, I'll go back through.
There's a bunch of them. There's Copy Shark. There's Conversion.ai, and their AI is called Jarvis. Hey, how does that work? But there's a bunch of those kind of AI writing. I'm not sure if a plastic surgery clinic is going to want to invest in one of these things. But yeah, if you need help writing, those are you can go and test them out, and they can definitely help.
Well, yeah, especially if it's a one robot talking to another robot that's searching. Well, yeah. Why do you need a human involved? Anyway,
well, humans read it, so that's why. You need a human involved to fact check everything, because if you don't, the robot will say crazy stuff like, the rhinoplasty is typically done on your lower back, or something like that. And you're
done by a rhino.
Yeah, on your lower back. All right, so I did not stick to 5. I gave you 6, and so my apologies. We're going to end it. We're going to stop there though, because we're up against it.
Well, good. And I know all the plastic surgeons in our listening audience were taking copious notes. But even if you weren't, what if you had a SEO company and you could just show a before picture of a website, of a Google results. And then after you went through the SEO, you could show, all the results and a side-by-side picture. So it could work for anybody before and after. All right, great. Okay, so with that, we will wrap it up there, and we will encourage you to, if you happen to know a plastic surgeon, this is obviously a great podcast, or anyone that does kind of, maybe interior designer, another perfect one, kind of before and after. Anyway, nice. It applies to almost everything. So let's share that out. People who talk about how great their business is, this is a great opportunity for them to maximize that and get as much online exposure as possible. If you did enjoy this podcast, make sure to review it and give us 5 stars or a thumbs up wherever you're listening to it, and that helps our ranking. And then lastly, if you like, I just had a question about the blog AI and that service, I will go back to magnifiedmedia.net, click on the podcast link, and then where there's a magnifying glass, I'm going to type in blog AI. So I encourage everyone to do the same. See what comes up in terms of the episodes that we've done on that. And we'll see how it goes, but should be great. And I guess we'll talk to you next week.
That's all for now. Thanks for listening to this episode of Local SEO in 10 with Google local marketing expert Adam Duran. Join us each week for answers to your questions on how to best harness the power of the internet to grow your business. Speaking of questions, got some? Message us through our Facebook page, Local SEO in 10, and we'll be sure to give you your answer on an upcoming episode. This episode of Local SEO in 10 is brought to you by Magnified Media, the leading online marketing agency in Northern California, who invite you to grow your business by magnifying your online visibility and credibility. Visit them on the web at www.magnifiedmedia.com. Magnify your business magnify your profits.